Air India is in the process of renewing its entire fleet with retrofitted interiors, and whilst a large number of new aircraft is expected to join the Air India fleet in the coming years, what's immediately more exciting is the upgrades you can look forward to on your flight in the near future. The A320s that form the backbone of their domestic and short-haul international fleet has also received an overhaul. I experienced this on a 4-hour flight from Delhi to Bangkok. So here's my impression of their new business class product on the A320. Cutting straight to the chase, reducing the number of seats from 12 to 8 means that you get satisfactory legroom in all rows and a much more modern looking seat. The dark blue and magenta colors give the seat a smart business-like appearance. This is the second retrofitted aircraft that Air India has received and has been put into service. Although they had earlier announced that the flights were to begin from January, this was not the case and only sporadic flights were operated by the new aircraft. You will find that the new aircraft also get new flight numbers with the numeral 2 added before the flight number. So this flight became AI-2356 from Bangkok to Delhi. I had previously flown on the older aircraft on the same route, which was called AI-356. That was a very dated business class cabin, and if you'd like to see a review, I'll link it in the description below. The business class seats offer a 40-inch pitch. In simple words, the distance between the same points between the two rows. This has not really changed from before, but somehow the cabin feels more spacious, perhaps because of less passengers in the business cabin. The seat offers a recline function which is not overtly generous, but adequate for domestic or short-haul international flights. The bulkhead seats then make a good choice as there is slightly more room and no one intruding into your space with a reclining seat. This, of course, comes with total exposure to the galley and the main entrance to the aircraft. Really, a lot depends on your co-passengers in business class, and that will ultimately dictate what your overall flight experience will be like. On routes like Bangkok, Delhi or vice versa, the passengers can be over-enthusiastic at times, and the cabin tends to be full with just 8 seats. In our case, a crying infant was a constant companion. Not that it mattered to me much because of the excellent noise-cancelling Sony XM4s I was using. There's plenty of room in row 1 to use a laptop or a similar device, and I put this to good use with some strategy games during the flight. This is just as well as there is no IFE. Instead, BYOD or bring your own device is the mantra here. You do get access to a streaming service via Wi-Fi after takeoff, which as usual also gives you access to a map to show you the flight progress. Coming to the meals, as is customary for Air India, a tablecloth was laid out nicely in preparation for the meal service. The meals themselves were a fairly standard affair, nothing outstanding or seemingly exclusive to business class. You do get proper metal cutlery as usual, along with a salt shaker. You can choose between a continental and Indian option for both vegetarian and non-vegetarian options. I chose the roasted chicken, which came with potatoes, broccoli and another bowl of boiled veggies. The dessert was still Indian in this case. For the vegetarian option, my co-passenger got some mixed vegetables with pulao rice and some stuffed potatoes and spinach. The crew was attentive and constantly around checking to see if the passengers needed anything, and the service overall was pleasant. In fact, you could see them taking the extra step and making efforts to give you a personalized experience and elevate the soft product. I think this new retrofit is a step in the right direction and makes a very dated product, at least in line with the times. It doesn't really reinvent the wheel or shine outright in any one aspect, but it is no longer a product that I will advise against, as was the case with the older business class. Combined with some of the most convenient flight timings, this is now a competitive product on this route, especially since there are so few direct flight offerings in business class in the first place. I hope you found value in this video, and if so, please consider subscribing for more such videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.